Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Friday Night Lights. Welcome back to football here on CVC TV as we are live in Cuyahoga Heights, Ohio tonight for a cross-division matchup in the CVC, pitting the Berkshire Badgers against the Cuyahoga Heights High School football team. This is your CVC TV Game of the Week presented by the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. I am your play-by-play color man, spotter, Mr. Everything, as my partner from last year, Nick Paulus, and myself used to talk about all the time. We will find a Mr. Everything here tonight. And if you're interested in sponsoring CVC TV or our Mr. Everything of the game, be sure to reach out to Steve Hare at ChagrinValleyConference.com. Tune in there. Click on the links to learn more about how you can sponsor CVC TV as we see Cuyahoga Heights running through their banner, ready to get this season underway. Coming into this season, the Berkshire Badgers are coming off of a 5-4 season, losing their only playoff matchup. As for those just tuning in to one of our games for the first time last season due to COVID rules, every team made the playoffs, so they did lose their one playoff game last year, did Berkshire. And, of course, this year everything kind of opening back up. Full stands. You're going to hear a lot rowdier crowds on our broadcast week to week. Did make the quick change of the schedule this week for this game with Berkshire and Cuyahoga Heights. Berkshire, of course, playing in the Valley Division of the Chagrin Valley Conference, playing in Division 5, Region 17, and looking to be one of the top 16. They have OHSAA, the Ohio High School Athletic Association, did extend the football playoffs after last year to 16 teams in each region instead of just 8, so they are going to be looking to make the playoffs again. They are headed up by Josh DeWeese, his 9th season at the helm of the Badgers. He is 32-48 in his tenure as coach of the Berkshire Badgers. Of course, things to look for tonight for Berkshire. They do have a strong offensive and defensive line, but they do have a lot of new skill position and have a new quarterback, as QB Jacob Brown did graduate last season. We will get into all of that later on in the game as we go on, but we are just about set to tee this one up from the 40-yard line down to our right. Berkshire will be receiving the kick. Owen Schukert for Cuyahoga Heights is set to kick this one away. Back deep for Berkshire. Looks like here on the near side, Jack Hastings. And looking across the field in the shadows here as the sun is setting right over midfield at Cuyahoga Heights High School Stadium. And Schukert's kick goes into the end zone for a touchback coming out to the 25-yard line, and that is where new quarterback Miles Miller and this Berkshire offense will get things started. So as the referees they will actually set it on the 20-yard line, my apologies. It'll be 1st and 10. Just getting underway here for Berkshire at their own 20-yard line. So Miller will be in the shotgun formation. He'll be flanked by Jack Keene, and they'll send a couple receivers out to the far side, one near side. A quick handoff to Keene, and a quick stop in the backfield. Looked like getting in on that tackle. Early tackle for loss. Angelo Rocco first in to make the stop on Keene. So a loss of 4 on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 14. And this Cuyahoga Heights defense looking to set the tone early up front with their defensive line getting penetration on their early run call. This time Miller will roll out to his right, looking to throw, and just hitting the turf, but it could have been picked off had that one been thrown a little bit higher in the area. Jason Meadwell for Cuyahoga Heights was on defense. they were going for, Berkshire was going for Lucas Stoddard, who actually played offensive line over the last few seasons. This year in his senior year, he's going to be a 6th offensive lineman, but going to be in that tight end position, so getting a little bit more involved in the offense. So 3rd and 14 now, as Miller will look over to his coach, DeWeese, for the play call. And referees will stop play. Looks like a timeout as the referees will come together to, might be where the ball is spotted, or just, it's going to be early season jitters for everybody, the players, coaches, even the referees out here, and even your CVC TV broadcast. But we're going to bring all of the Chagrin Valley Conference Game of the Week action to you all season long, and it's really good to be back to full football and getting 10 weeks of football before we even hit the playoffs this year. So Miller in the shotgun, back to pass, tries to hit a screen pass and overshoots his target. Going for Jack Keene on the screen pass, and that falls harmlessly to the turf. It'll be 4th and 14, so that early tackle for loss, allowing Cuyahoga Heights to kind of pin their ears back, keeping everything in front of them, putting pressure on Miller in his first start at quarterback for Berkshire, and they will have to punt it away. Back deep to punt it for Berkshire. Like number 17, he's going to roll out almost a rugby style. And back deep to try to return this was Meadwell for Cuyahoga Heights, but goes over his head, and the special teams unit for Berkshire will get down there, and a great punt on that rugby style effort, and that will be down at the Cuyahoga Heights 24-yard line, and that is where they will get their offensive first series started here this evening. So no score here early in this ball game. 11:07 left in the first quarter. Cuyahoga Heights will be 1st down and 10 at their own 24, and they are bringing back senior quarterback Luke Torgerson from last season. Torgerson threw for 770 yards and 4 touchdowns, also ran for 579 yards, and an early handoff to Ryan Kadrewski, a player to watch here this evening, around right edge, and good yardage there on 1st down out over the 30-yard line. Looks like they'll spot him at the 33-yard line, and a quick 9 yards for Kadrewski on that play. And Cuyahoga Heights is going to try to get back to that rushing attack this season, and sometimes they'll hit you quick, sometimes they're going to try to play the possession game as kind of a wing T triple option look there, coming on the jet sweep, the short jet sweep. Torgerson calling his own number and just able to get enough and a couple extra yards for a 1st down over the 35 at the 38-yard line, their own 38-yard line. So good opening series already for Cuyahoga Heights. We talked about how Berkshire has a strong defensive front, but right now in the trenches, early advantage to Cuyahoga Heights. And Kadrewski just slips through a couple tackles over the center and squirts out, not able to keep his feet on the turf, but squirts out to the 44-yard line. So they'll give him a pickup of 6, 2nd and 4, as this kind of spotted at the 43.5-yard line. But they will mark it as a 2nd down and 4, 9:40 left here in Cuyahoga Heights, Ohio. Kadrewski with another handoff up the middle, and he could go 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Cuyahoga Heights. And Ryan Kadrewski gets the scoring started early. He slipped on that first run on 1st down, but on 2nd down and 4 from the 44-yard line, he scampers 56 yards to pay dirt, and that'll put Cuyahoga Heights up 6-0 with 9:30 left in the first quarter. As Heights will come on to try the extra point, they will give kind of that odd look, and we saw this last year as well when we covered Cuyahoga Heights. They'll kind of see if there's an option for a 2-point play. Otherwise, they'll shift that line back to the middle to try the extra point. And on to try the extra point will be Owen Schukert. And that is pure through the uprights. So make the score 7-0 Cuyahoga Heights over Berkshire. Again, 9:30 left. And on that play, Kudrowski saw the hole, hit it, and as soon as he got his balance, there was no catching him. It looked like Jack Hastings was the closest one to him. Good effort to continue pursuit all the way down the field. But down this near left edge, Kudrowski was clear. He saw the red end zone, and just like a bull, he was ready to run through that proverbial wall in front of the end zone to get his first score of the season. Again, thank you so much, everyone tuning in to CVC TV here on ChagrinValleyConference.com or the Chagrin Valley Conference's YouTube page for your CVC TV Game of the Week. And of course, with CVC TV, we are proud to be sponsored by the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Doctors Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, who is the commissioner of the CVC, Jill Weber, and Jacqueline Tomsick, you will find over there at the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. They specialize in dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery by visiting their website, www.ohsurgery.com. That is www.ohsurgery.com. We thank them for all of their support for the Chagrin Valley Conference, CVC TV, and these student athletes. So Schukert on to kick this one away. Referees kind of stopping play again to have the ball set properly once again. Back deep, it'll be Jack Hastings and Josh Brown for Berkshire standing at their own 10-yard line. And again, another stoppage and another official's timeout. And so referees trying to get on the same page with one another. They're working out the kinks as well. There are scrimmages in high school football, but not full on and full contact preseason games. So referees getting their rules and maybe some updated rules in order as they come together on that bright red C and H outline in black. So with still 9:30 left on the clock until we kick this one away, Cuyahoga Heights getting on the scoreboard early with a 56-yard touchdown run by Ryan Kudrowski. They lead 7-0. They are in their red uniforms, white numbering, gray pants with white and red trimming, and gray helmets with the white and red trim across the middle. On the other side, Berkshire is in their road white jerseys with purple numbers and purple pants with gold and white trimming. And looks like they have some matte purple helmets this year, some newer helmets for them with their numbers donned on the side of those helmets. So it looks like we are ready to go for this kickoff by Owen Schukert. Of course, don't want to speak too quickly. He's been ready a few times and whistles have blown before, as referees were over actually by the fence on the far side of the field, as trying again, either trying to get notes together or some sort of confusion. Not sure what that confusion is. We haven't gotten any sort of announcement. It looks like the fans are saying that they were reading the referee's lips coming across the middle of the field saying no more bathroom breaks. So looks like referees trying to get things ready to go. As we said, some early season jitters, but Schukert into the ball, end over end, and that one will hit over the end zone line, and that one will come out for another touchback. So offensively, Miles Miller running this Berkshire offense for the first time. As we kind of mentioned him before, Jacob Brown graduated last season at the quarterback position he was able to throw for 1,062 yards and 14 touchdowns, as well as running for just under 1,100 yards and 16 touchdowns. So Miles Miller trying to replace those big shoes as Miller on the run around the edge, and he gets dragged down by his shoulder pads. And his flag does come down on this one. Be our first flag of the night, and that's looks like it's going to be a personal foul. Horse collar tackle will wait official word, but Miller had a little pay dirt in front of him as he was coming around and got tackled at the 27-yard line, but they will mark this one off for that personal foul penalty against Cuyahoga Heights. So better field position to start this drive. 9:24 to go. Heights in with the early lead, 7-0. But Badgers trying to put a drive together. So Miller will hand off, and again, that defensive front for Heights, pursuit of the ball, getting off their blocks and into the backfield. And Jack Keene has not had any room to run. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play back to their own 40-yard line. 2nd down and 12. 9:04 remaining in this opening quarter. Miller in that shotgun, calls for a man in motion, tried to fake that handoff and called his own number, and again, another tackle for loss by Heights. And another 2-yard loss. So Berkshire not wanting to see themselves going backwards. It'll be 3rd down and about 13 and a half, just the ball just in front of the 38-yard line of Berkshire. So we see 3rd and 13 on the clock as he will heave this one up, and a great catch in traffic here on the near side. Miller just lofted that one up for his receiver, Josh Brown. Player to watch, who's going to be kind of a leader for this Berkshire offense, the only returning starter from last season in their skill positions, and a great concentration, and turns upfield, gets into Heights territory for the first time tonight, down at the Heights 38-yard line. So Berkshire on the drive. Miller looking to call his own number, was looking to see who was going to commit to him and to Keene. He called his own number. And again, the run plays for the Badgers have been well scouted. And, of course, when you have a coach like Al Martin, the head coach of Cuyahoga Heights, who's been at the helm for 25 seasons. You heard that right, folks, 25 seasons. Coach Martin has been at the helm here at Cuyahoga Heights, amassing 229 wins and only 56 losses. That's the kind of preparation that these student athletes are going to have every week, even if it's week 1 and new starters on both sides of the field. So on the carry for Berkshire, Ethan McCaskey looking to get a couple yards, does get a few of those yards back. 3rd down and 9 looking across the field. 7:05 and a ticking first quarter clock. Heights leading 7-0 on a Ryan Kudrowski touchdown run. So Miller will put McCaskey on his right hip as he is in the shotgun with 2 receivers here to his near side. He rolls out near side, looking to throw up over the top and just out of the reach of Mason Mendelera. And it'll bring up a 4th down, and an interesting decision for Coach DeWeese as he is in plus territory, entering Heights territory for the first time this afternoon on their 2nd drive. And it does look like they're going to send out the punt unit and try to pin Heights deep and make them go the length of the field. So looks like Josh Brown is in punt formation. Heights not really having anybody too deep. This one will just be pooched, punted down the near sideline and go out of bounds down inside the 20 at the Heights 19-yard line. And that is where they will take over. 6:41 here in quarter number 1 of game 1 of the 2021 Ohio high school football season. And again, just looking out amongst the crowd, it's a beautiful setup here at Cuyahoga Heights. The stands are all on one side. People are shading their eyes from the sun as it's setting right over us, as we said early in the game. As Torgerson called his own number and just slides to a stop. Tackle for a loss of 2 in the backfield. So bring up a 2nd down and 12 for Cuyahoga Heights. But having fans from both schools on both sides, being able to have as many fans as possible in the stands. You got the cheerleading squads, the bands all here and ready to go. Torgerson will hand this one off to the touchdown maker. Kudrewski makes a cut on the sideline, gets a 1st down, and then some. Up that far sideline, over the 35, out to the 37-yard line.
1st down, Heights.
So about a 19-yard run there on 2nd down for Kudrewski, but looks like a flag was thrown on the play, and it'll back up Heights as they are walking back inside their own 10-yard line. May have been a hold from the spot of the foul. Tough to see across the field down on that end zone off to our right. So Torgerson gets the 2nd down play call from his coach. It'll just basically reset right back to a 2nd down and 12. Torgerson under center. 3 receivers out here to his near side. He will pitch this one off to the left to Kudrewski, and a hard hit there. Kudrewski was trying to break through a few tacklers. In on that tackle for the Badgers, their quarterback, Miles Miller. So getting the first hit there on Kudrewski and bringing him to the ground, and that is not an easy task with Kudrewski. But Miles Miller kind of leading by example. You want to see your quarterbacks be leaders, and these teams, you're going to see guys playing both ways. That's pretty much par for the course in high school football. So when you see your quarterback willing to put his body on the line, making a play to get a stop, it just fires up the rest of the squad. So 5:12 left here in quarter number 1. Torgerson looking to throw over the middle. Too high for his intended target, Jason Meadwell. And on the coverage was Josh Brown. So that one will sail into the turf on 3rd and 9, and it'll bring up 4th down and 9 deep in their own territory. And looks like Coach Martin and his special teams unit will come on to punt this ball away. Cuyahoga Heights still leading 7-0 in this ball game, but a key stop there for Berkshire as Heights kind of got that early momentum early on in this season. But they were able to pin them deep, and Badgers looking to get their best starting field position of the day. They have 2 receivers deep at their own 45-yard line. Keene and Brown, who have been in on most of the action for Berkshire early on in this ball game. So the punt coming off the foot of Fletcher Sturgill, and just calling for a fair catch, taking a knee inside Heights territory, so will be their best starting field position. Josh Brown takes the knee at the Heights 48-yard line, and that is where Miller and the Badgers offense will get their 3rd series of the game, looking to build on some of the success that they found on that last drive. Heights has been able to get penetration on these run plays, these option run plays for Berkshire, but it's when Miles gets out on the edge, rolls out, able to find his receivers. They're finding good space on the sidelines and kind of finding some soft spots in the zone by Heights, making incredible catches for their quarterback as well. But they're coming on 3rd and long situations. They want to take advantage of good field position here on 1st and 10. Miller will make a couple men miss, getting back just to the line of scrimmage as he started going east and west. Couldn't find a hole north and south. Maybe a half a yard gain. They will give him a yard on that one. It'll bring up 2nd down and 9. 4:40 left in the opening quarter. Berkshire against Cuyahoga Heights. Miles Miller, new quarterback at the helm for 2021 for Berkshire. Changing the play at the line as he looks over his coaching staff. He's going to roll out to his right, looking to throw over the middle, and a good throw, kind of behind Stoddard, but catchable ball. Kind of turns Stoddard around. If you're just joining us on the broadcast, Lucas Stoddard has been an offensive lineman for Berkshire over the past few seasons. He was All-Ohio second team last year, graded out at a 91% overall blocking rate with 100% in the passing game. Miller rolling out to his left, and a good throw. It's close to the sticks. It'll depend on the spot. They needed to get to the Heights 38-yard line. Looks like they are just shy as Berkshire had to come back on that ball. It was a good throw across his body to the left side of the field, but a yard short of the first down. So as we hit the 4-minute-to-go mark here in the opening quarter, Berkshire looks like they're going to go for it on a 4th and 1, trying to push the pile. It's going to be close. The referee here on the near side is right at that marker. They may call for a measurement, but looks like they will just move the sticks, got the yard they needed, and they will pick up another first down. And once those chains get set, this clock will continue to go. So kind of got off to a quick start, quick hitting play from running back Ryan Kadrewski of Cuyahoga Heights to put them up 7-0. But since then, it's been a much more controlled pace on both sides, and looks like that kind of favors Berkshire. They're able to kind of set their offense, and just there, Miles Miller now finding a rhythm with his receivers. Josh Brown making a great catch on the sideline, little toe drag on the sideline. Picked up 12 as the ball is right at the Heights 25-yard line. So first down and 10, 3:30 to go here in quarter number 1. Miller now finding some space in that Heights defense, making a few men miss left and right, and close to another first down. He's right at the sticks on the far side. Maybe a half a yard short, as they will bring the second down marker down, but it will be second down in inches. Just inside the Heights 16-yard line. They need to get over that 15-yard line for a first down. But again, controlled pace now by Berkshire. Referees will blow their whistle once again, and they will have one of the Heights defenders run off the field. That's Andy Jacobzak, who they send off, kind of shaking his head a little bit. The referees are, every single year, they're being trained more and more to look out for certain injuries or blood or head injuries to kind of keep these student athletes as healthy as possible. So second and short, a great job by the Heights defensive front. Getting in on that tackle, Colin Decca, and the quarterback, Luke Torgerson, getting the push on the pile as Keene just not able to find a hole over the center, and they are going to lose a few yards. They were within inches. Now they're going to drop back, a loss of 3 on the play, bring up a 3rd down and 3, and this might be 4-down territory for Coach DeWeese and this Badger offense. But Miller calling out the play to his line. He's got Brown offset off his hip, and he will pitch it to him. Nothing doing. And just as the Badgers were starting to find some creases in that Heights defensive front, they're coming up with a big defensive stand, and looks like Berkshire will call a timeout on this 4th down call to get the play. It'll on the other side of this timeout. It'll be 4th down and 3 with 1:48 to go here in quarter number 1. Cuyahoga Heights leading their cross-division rival, the Valley Division opponent. Of course, Cuyahoga Heights in the CVC Metro Division, playing out of Division 7, Region 25. Berkshire in Division 5, Region 17. Cuyahoga Heights leading Berkshire 7-0. And they are talking with their head coach, Al Martin, right now for this defensive call. Now, before this fourth down play, we do want to let you know the Chagrin Valley Conference is a proud partner of FRST, First Response for Sports Trauma Course and Physicians Ambulance. Through this important partnership, FRST has helped prepare our first responders on the sidelines and throughout the league to consistently and expertly respond to trauma on the field of play. Thank you to Physicians Ambulance and FRST for keeping our CVC community safe. For more information about this partnership, visit chagrinvalleyconference.com. So 4th down and 2. Miller has the snap, fakes the handoff, and just dives forward across the 15 down to the Heights 13-yard line. Needed 3, got 5, and that will move the sticks. It'll be a 1st down and 10 inside the red zone for Berkshire at the Cuyahoga Heights 13-yard line. Miller will bring his team quickly back to the line. Brown on his right hip. He's going to roll out with 2 receivers here on his near side, making a couple men miss. And that one looks like it's picked, and it is. And picked off in the end zone. They will call that a touchback. Seth Cusia coming up with a big defensive stand for Cuyahoga Heights. Read the receiver's route, got in the passing lane, and looked right at Miller as he was about to throw it, picked it off, and Cuyahoga Heights able to get the defensive stop and bring their offense back out on the field. 1st down and 10, 1:26 left in the first quarter. Heights still leading 7-0. You could see it all the way as Miller was forced back up into the pocket. His eyes started to lock in on the 2 receivers here on the near side of the field. And Cusia was reading that the entire way, dropped off his man, and went in and picked that one off. Now Torgerson will pitch this one out far side, coming around left edge to Jason Meadwell, getting one of his receivers involved in jet sweep action. Getting positive yardage there on 1st down, and it looks like they'll give him 10 yards on that carry right out to the 30-yard line. And referees wait for the sticks to move. So 1 play, 1 first down on this drive for Heights as we tick under the 1:15 mark to go in the opening quarter. Handoff to, looks like kind of Torgerson faked the handoff and then called his own number there. They've had a little bit of success with that as he just kind of tries to push the pile up the middle and pushes the pile for 4 yards. Heights in no rush, trying to set their own pace of play to this one. 40 seconds and clock ticking here in the first quarter. Torgerson hands off to Trousseau up the middle. Another gain of 4 or 5 yards. They need to get to the 40. The ball spotted at their own 39. So 3rd down and 1. And as we tick under 20 seconds to go, don't know that they'll have to run another play. They'll come up to the line. We'll see if they want to try to get this 1st down and have a fresh set of downs on the other side of the quarter break, or just let it run out as we hit 5 seconds to go. Torgerson looking at that clock. They will run a play. Torgerson will get the 1st down and cut, and then some. Cutting left, cutting right, back into the middle, and just inside midfield at the Badger 48-yard line. It'll be a 1st down, and that fresh set of downs that Coach Al Martin and his team were looking for out of this quarter break. So at the end of the first quarter, it is Cuyahoga Heights 7, Berkshire nothing, as this is the CVC TV Game of the Week. And of course, your CVC TV Game of the Week is brought to you by the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. They are this year's title sponsor. Their practice will diagnose and treat your facial pain and injuries. They will also offer you a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery for all of your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Please visit their website at www.o8surgery.com. That's www.o8surgery.com. So as we get set for second quarter action here at Cuyahoga Heights High School, Heights leading Berkshire 7-0. Kevin Arnold alongside the team here with CVC TV and LPV Productions, When you're doing play-by-play, color, and all of that, sometimes words are hard, but they're oh so fun. As so is Friday Night Lights, and it's so good to have that back as the lights start to tick on. The sun starting to set just over the trees across the way on the far side. And of course, the team switched sides of the field, and the first play in the second quarter is a handoff to Kudrewski that goes nowhere. Maybe you gain a half a yard, but it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 for Heights. Hunter Nicholson in on that tackle for Berkshire. So Torgerson will come back into the huddle with David Collins. Checking out of the game, Owen Schukert, who we've seen taking care of the kicking duties as well for Heights this evening. On a sultry night here in Cuyahoga Heights, Ohio. Going to be a sultry weekend here in Northeast Ohio. And a handoff over the top. He's wide open to Collins. 10-5, touchdown. A little trickeration for Heights. Goes to pay dirt. And Collins, who had just checked in, gets open in the secondary. No one around him. Torgerson with the handoff, the pitch back to Seth Cusia, who throws the 48-yard bomb. Catch and run by David Collins, putting Heights up 13-0, just 51 seconds into the second quarter. And that's what Heights will do to you. That run game will lull you to sleep. They'll hit you with a little trickeration, throw it every now and again. And when they do, it's so tough to defend because the run action up front makes you commit to try to stop Kudrewski, to try to stop Torgerson. And on that play, they were able to catch the Badgers napping as Schukert adds on the extra point. So Heights will double their lead, 14-0. And that was a crucial first down that Heights got before the first quarter break. They were able to kind of reset their offense, play from 1st down and 10. Of course, not really getting much from Kudrewski on the 1st down and 10 play, but on 2nd down, just inside midfield, they saw a chance to take a shot downfield, took a shot, and it paid off. Cusia to Collins for 48 yards, and the score. So again, 11:09 left in the first half. Cuyahoga Heights 14, Berkshire Badgers 0. Now as the Heights special teams unit meets here on their own 35-yard line on the near side of the field, will come out for this kickoff. I'm sure in the huddle and over there on the sideline, Coach Josh DeWeese of Berkshire is just telling his team, just got to put a drive together. We've had chances. We've had some opportunities to make some plays out there, getting some of our new skill position running backs, wide receivers out in the space. Maybe trying to space out that Heights defense a little bit to get back into their rushing attack. Heights has kind of gone running attack to open up the passing offense. Berkshire might be looking to do the reverse, use that passing attack to open up some of those run lanes up the middle. So Schukert into the ball with his right foot, kind of side winding kick towards the far sideline. And that will go out of bounds for a legal procedure, kick out of bounds. And so Berkshire getting a bit of a gift there, and they will get decent starting field position on this drive. So as Berkshire huddles up for this first down and 10 play on their own 35-yard line. Miller and Brown looking over at Coach DeWeese for the play call. Waiting for the ready to play from the referees as well. They'll have two receivers out near side to the left. One out far side to the right, just outside the numbers on this beautiful turf field. And fans are now, of course, getting antsy with all of these stoppages in play before we get things started. Now, Miles will hand off to Stoddard, his tight end. He's rumbling down the near sideline, inside the 20, 10, 5, touchdown. One play, one score, 65 yards to the end zone. And just like that, Berkshire cuts the lead in half, 14-6. Just looking on the field to see if any flags were thrown, and there was no laundry on the field. Stoddard, who will probably keep mentioning it throughout the night for people tuning in and out of the game this evening, was an offensive lineman, still considered an offensive lineman, the sixth offensive lineman, but also a tight end, and he was able to get the handoff as Miles went to the right. Stoddard came running to the left, got out to the sideline, and nobody in front of him, showing that speed he's been waiting to show the coaches his entire career. And Salvatore Vargas adds the extra point, so 10:57 left. 4 seconds in between scores. Cuyahoga Heights leads 14-7, but you feel a little bit of that energy on that Berkshire sideline. Almost like Coach DeWeese kind of looked over at who I'm sure he considers a mentor, a long-standing and future Hall of Fame coach in Al Martin, and said, okay, we're going to throw some of our trickeration plays. We're going to do some misdirection out there on the field. Well, let's see what kind of play I can dig out of our playbook. And Berkshire executed it to perfection. And Lucas Stoddard has to feel good getting a chance to carry the football with the football in his hands and make some plays. Kind of in the early running for someone we would talk about as Mr. Everything, as he's on the offensive line, going out as tight end for passes. Now he's getting into the rushing attack. And, of course, he also does play both ways. He plays defensive end for that Berkshire defense as well. So Salvatore Vargas into his right with his right foot on this kickoff, a short kickoff, kind of a pooch kick down to the far sideline. Fair catch called for there by Dominic Trousseau. And Heights will now take over, looking to answer right back. First down and 10 at their own 27-yard line. My goodness, end-to-end action now. Both teams just having to get some of those first game jitters out of the way. And now the chess match from sideline to sideline really gets going, and this is where Friday Night Lights in Northeast Ohio, Ohio football overall, gets so good and so fun to watch. Torgerson on the pitch to Cusia, who has a passing touchdown on this one, but he is going nowhere on that play. Good play there. It looked like Stoddard was in on that play. So, again, doing things on both ends of the field, getting a chance to get in the end zone, and now trying to get the ball right back to his offense and get himself back on the field for another opportunity to score. Loss of 4 on the play. Second down and 14 for the Heights offense. Torgerson under center. He will hand her off to Kudrewski, trying to get some of that lost yardage back. He will get half of it back up to the 25-yard line. So bring up a 3rd down and long, 3rd down and 12 with 10 minutes left in the second quarter. Cuyahoga Heights will now break the huddle, send 2 receivers both sides of the line. Torgerson in the shotgun all by himself. Back to pass with his left arm, trying to pass, and it's picked off down the sideline. No one in front of him. It's going to be a pick 6 for Berkshire. I don't know if it got tipped, but it came out funny past the line of scrimmage, and Berkshire able to pick that one off. Miles Miller, the quarterback, said, you know, got to get myself going at the quarterback position, but free ball in the air, I might as well go get myself in the end zone. 14-13 Heights, 9:32 left pending the extra point, but Miller saw the ball just floating out there, and there was no one on the near sideline, and he gets the interception, return for a touchdown. Vargas adds the extra point, and we are all knotted up at 14 in this ball game. Buckle up, folks. This is going to be a great opening matchup. No, it's not going to factor in possibly to a division title in the CVC because it is still considered non-conference as it is a cross-division matchup. But boy, Berkshire getting Stoddard, their leader, into the end zone seems to have ignited some sort of fire on that Badger sideline. And now it's Heights' turn to kind of look at their coach, take a deep breath, find the answers, and just reset themselves coming out for this possession. We were 11 seconds into the quarter. And Heights was able to score. Since then, Badgers have rattled off 14 unanswered. And players on the other sideline have their helmets raised for this kickoff. As Vargas will send this one a little bit deeper down the field. Ryan Kadrewski tracking back to his 12-yard line to pick that one up, trying to find some space. Bulldozing his way out across the 40-yard line. Out to the 43-yard line, and so Kadrewski kind of getting that positive play to ignite some juice into the Heights sideline and get this offensive possession underway. Heights had a lot of success early on. Kadrewski up the middle, of course, going 56 yards for the first score of the game. And then the trickeration, Torgerson pitching to Casilla, who threw it downfield for 48 yards to David Collins. But since then, his last possession and a play, Berkshire kind of showing why their front lines, their offensive and defensive lines were touted as the strong points, the strengths of the team coming in to the season. And that can go a long way for a young squad, guys that are young in those skill positions, especially a young quarterback, having a veteran offensive line, helping with the calls, just kind of makes that young quarterback, young players feel that much more comfortable. Cusia will get this handoff and going nowhere. He was trying to break a tackle here on the near side. Stoddard again. As Heights was looking for a similar unnecessary roughness on that tackle, as we saw earlier, Heights was called for a horse collar tackle. But so far, been a pretty clean game. Only a couple flags have been thrown in this one. It's more so just two teams going back and forth. Offenses and defenses finding a way to make a play and get the team back on the field. And boy, Torgerson takes a hit. He was rolling out to his left, and he gets sacked back at his own 38-yard line, loss of 5. Getting in there may have been 74, Denton Yoder. Tough to see as the sun kind of shines through the trees, but they were trying to get a little misdirection. Torgerson was looking on third down. He was looking left, starts to roll back, and eyes switch back to the right. And as soon as he started to look up, Berkshire defender right in his face and takes the sack. So 4th and 14. Heights will be forced to punt this one away, and it'll go out of bounds. Referee will march this one off at the Badger 30-yard line. 7:14 left. All knotted up. 14 apiece in this one. Football, sports in general, they're a game of momentum, especially football. Momentum swings will happen throughout. It's how can you manage those momentum swings to kind of bide yourself enough time to regain that momentum on your side of the field. And Cuyahoga Heights defense getting instructions, trying to get a stop on this first down and next drive for Berkshire, and it's a good start to the drive, kind of what we saw on the first drive of the Badgers. Heights able to get in. Torgerson making a play. Loss of 2. Favoza also in on that tackle. You got to give this Heights defense a lot of credit, though. Those gray helmets, they get hat on ball, and they rally to the football. One player gets a hit, and there are several defenders ready to clean it up. This time, good end-around play. Miller handing off to Brown, getting that loss of yardage back, and then some, out to the 35, so a gain of 7 on that play, bringing up a 3rd down and 5. As we are just hitting the halfway mark of the second quarter, so 6 minutes left here in the first half. Miller rolling out to his right, getting pressure in his face by Torgerson and Angelo Rocco. He just has to throw that one at the feet of his intended target, Brown. So he'll bring up a 4th down and 5. As players run off for Berkshire. Brown in punt formation. Heights with one man back deep at his own 30-yard line. Looks like they're going to put Jason Meadwell back there, and Berkshire will take their second time out of the half, leaving them with 1 to go. Thank you again, everyone, tuning in tonight to the first edition of the 2021 high school football season and CVC TV Game of the Week. If you're watching on replay, kind of watching another high school game, you may have been out at one watching your son or daughter in their high school football game, their activities with football, cheerleading, marching band, dance, flag, corps, and you're watching this on replay, or maybe even just tuning into the stream. We have about 6 minutes left here in the first half. Berkshire Badgers, the visiting Badgers from Berkshire, getting able to tie things up against Cuyahoga Heights 14-14 in this one, but they are stuck with a 4th down and 5. Brown in punt formation, and another rugby style punt end over end, and good hands there by Meadwell, calling for the fair catch with a couple of defenders around him. So the Heights offense will come back out. Berkshire in the last 2 defensive possessions has been able to get a pick 6 by their quarterback, Miles Miller, also playing safety for the Badgers this season. And then on that last drive, Berkshire able to contain Torgerson, Luke Torgerson, the quarterback for Cuyahoga Heights, rolling out to his left and getting a sack to force them to punt. And Heights still trying to pitch the ball out wide. That time the ball going into the hands of Seth Crucia. And Berkshire just not fooled on some of these misdirection plays. Heights was able to use some of those misdirection plays, or some of that action that we just saw on that 1st down and 10 play, that pitch out to Crucia. They were able to use that to get Badger defenders' eyes caught in the backfield, and then David Collins, the wide receiver for Heights, was all alone, scampering for 48 yards. Like Torgerson keeping that one a couple yards, able to push the pile out to the 34-yard line. 3rd down and 6 with 4:57 and a ticking second quarter clock. But after that pass from Crucia to Collins, Heights was up 14-0. And quickly, Lucas Stoddard, the tight end for Berkshire, running for 65 yards. And then the pick 6 by Miles Miller knots this one up. And that's where we stand. Kadrewski, trying to get out on the edge this time. He's had some success up the middle. He's trying to get some yards up the middle. Looks like he's inches short of a 1st down. They have to get right at that 40-yard line. Nose of the football about 6 inches behind the line to gain for a 1st down. So 4th and 1. Torgerson, as he's done all night, carries it himself, pushes the pile, drags a couple defenders with him, including Ethan McCaskey, who was able to get him around the shoestrings to bring him down. But it'll be gain of 5 yards and 6 inches, I guess you would say, out to the 45-yard line. 1st down and 10. 3:45 left in the second quarter. This time a handoff up the middle to Kadrewski. And that time the defensive front for the Badgers up to task, keeping Kadrewski to a short gain of 1 on the play. And Heights still has all 3 timeouts with 3:15 to go. So not in any hurry, still plenty of time to try to, if not get in field goal range, put a drive together if they're able to get a big play, but they will not on the 2nd down and 9 play. Torgerson stopped right at the line of scrimmage for no gain. So now, interesting call here by Coach Al Martin for 3rd down and 9. Again, Heights not in any sort of hurry, not allowing any sort of sense of panic to set in. But Badgers are going to look to get a stop here, force them to try to punt it, and maybe try to put a drive of their own together. Torgerson rolls out to his left. He's got a man wide open and a sliding grab across the middle, just inside the numbers, and across midfield inside the 40-yard line at the 36-yard line. On the grab, Anthony Katuzis able to pick that one up. So there is the big gain that Heights was looking for. Now, kind of see them going from the huddle, the traditional huddle, kind of picking up the pace just a little bit. Torgerson will be back in the shotgun all alone, and he is going to be sacked. First one there. That number 80 that we have called several times tonight for Berkshire already Lucas Stoddard also in on that sack. Ethan Brindle, who actually is a transfer from Menor High School, so able to add some experience there to that defensive front and sack back all the way to the 41-yard line, a loss of 5. So with 1:30 to go, now Heights in a predicament. 2nd down and 15. Kind of in this spread formation. Torgerson looking to throw, lofts it up there for Catuzis, try to go up for the jump ball, and again another interception. High pointing the ball for his 2nd pick of the half, Miles Miller. Boy, Torgerson left that one up there in the air for what seemed like forever. It was Catuzis in a 50-50 jump ball against Miller from Berkshire, and Miller getting on his pogo stick, getting up in the air and able to pick that one off. So Berkshire will take over at their own 10-yard line, 1st down and 10 with 1:19 to go. Heights does have 3 timeouts left. We'll see if Coach Martin will try to use those timeouts if Berkshire kind of keeps it conservative here. Try to keep everything in front of them. And a misdirection play to Stoddard, and he's in the clear again. He'll get a 1st down and more. Still on his feet over the 40-yard line, out of bounds, just over the 40-yard line. Marked out of bounds at his own 42-yard line, so a gain of 32 yards on 1st down and 10, and stops the clock on the 1st down and getting out of bounds with 1:08 to go. So Berkshire with 1 timeout. In high school, of course, once the chains are set, they will still run the clock as we tick under 1 minute left in the 1st half. Week 1 here of CVC TV. Berkshire visiting Cuyahoga Heights, and now an end around, couple handoffs, and more yardage over midfield, over the Heights 40-yard line. And again, getting out of bounds. Crucial there with only 1 timeout, getting into plus territory in just 2 plays. Down to the 37-yard line, getting a carry that time was Jack Hastings. I haven't called his name much this evening, but Berkshire kind of has Heights defense on their heels as we have a stoppage in play. .8 seconds on the clock off to our left. And didn't see a signal for either team calling a timeout. Looks like they're resetting the clock. They're adding 10 seconds to the clock. They want to see 44 seconds on the clock. So Berkshire tied with Cuyahoga Heights 14-14, trying to put a drive together to end the 1st half. 44 seconds to go. 1st down and 10 at the Heights 37-yard line. Miles Miller in the shotgun will fake the handoff over the middle to Stoddard. Finds a soft spot in the zone at the 10. 5 trying to push his way and across the goal line for his 2nd touchdown of the game, just inside the far pylon. Lucas Stoddard finding space in that Heights defense, this time of the receiving variety. We saw him run it for 65 yards earlier. This time a 37-yard pitch and catch from Miller to Stoddard has Berkshire up 20-14 with 35 seconds left in the quarter. Vargas on to try the extra point. Ball down, kick up, right down the middle. Making the score Berkshire 21, Cuyahoga Heights 14. And boy, it looked like Heights was in control of this one to start the game. And then all of a sudden, the leader of that Berkshire team from a student-athlete standpoint, Lucas Stoddard, the second-team All-Ohioan offensive lineman from last season, comes back, gets an opportunity to get involved with the offense. Still playing that defensive end position as well. He's been making a couple key tackle for loss stops on defense. But he's showing Coach DeWeese, Coach, this is what you've been missing by keeping the ball out of my hands my entire high school career. First game at tight end, you come out with a rushing touchdown, 65 yards, and follow that up with a 37-yard touchdown catch through the air. And Miller's starting to find a little bit of rhythm, more and more comfortable as this game goes on at that quarterback position.
Berkshire to kick, Cuyahoga to receive from the south end zone.
So Vargas set to kick this one away. Back deep for Cuyahoga Heights, Jason Meadwell, Anthony Katuzis, and Ryan Kadrewski. My apologies. So kickoff short. Fair catch at the 30-yard line. So with 35 seconds left, still with 3 timeouts, Heights will come out for 1st and 10. Before this 1st and 10 play, do want to remind everyone listening, I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. If you are interested in sponsoring CVC TV, as we, of course, are proud to have our title sponsor being the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery, and, of course, other sponsors coming in along the way as we'll go throughout the season. But if you're interested in sponsoring CVC TV, be sure to reach out to the CVC at chagrinvalleyconference.com, where you can also get more details. So Torgerson will just take a knee, and they will let the clock run as we tick under 25 seconds to go. Depending on the referee's play clock, may or may not have to run another play. They might just do that just for safekeeping. And Torgerson will take one more knee. Clock ticking to 10 seconds, but that will do it for the first half of play. First game here on CVC TV of the 2021 high school football season. Zeros on the clock. Berkshire leading the home squad, Cuyahoga Heights, 21-14. We will be back for all your second half action in just a little while. During halftime, you will see the high school marching bands from Berkshire and Cuyahoga Heights. And on the other side, we'll be back with all of your first half stats and second half action. This is the CVC TV Game of the Week, Berkshire versus Cuyahoga Heights on the Chagrin Valley Conference Network. We'll be back in just a little while.
formations were picked by our seniors to commemorate their last season with the marching band. We'd like to start off tonight with a heavy metal classic, Metallica's 1991 hit, Enter Sandman. Party on, Wayne.
cut diet, or you want to go with me? Structure of life.
I don't have to go over the. No. Thank you.
Sorry.
Some save the best for last. We save the weirdest for last. Time for a song about alien, mysterious mansion, two lost teenagers, Tim Curry. After all, it's just a step to the left. Let's do some time warp.
Ladies and gentlemen, under the direction of Miss Mary Schrader with Field Commander Holmes Taylor, Flag and Majorette Advisor Dorleen Book, and Percussion Instructor Scott Blow, and Nicholas Strong, we proudly present Pride of the 216, the Cuyahoga Heights High School Marching Band. Tonight's show are songs from the decade. Our first up is Twist and Shout by the Beatles. Next up on the hit list is a 1981 hit by Queen, Under Pressure.
Way to go, Jackson!
Next up on the hit train is Can't Hold Us by Macklemore and Ryan Lewis.
Just like CJ. And instead of circling around to the right to go like he does, I go to the left at the next light. I go to the right and then to the left.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm right there. I'm right across the street from Landerhaven. You know, the directly, like you look out our front door, Landerhaven's right there, down that little side street.
That's still open.
And lastly, tonight we rock the stands with ABBA's Dancing Queen.
Yeah, food! Yeah, food!
Sexy as that. His tax return yet.
That's what I was trying to learn.
He should have waited so long.
Did Stan tell him if it got lost or what happened?
by Comfort Air.
There they are, folks, your 2021 Cuyahoga Heights High School Marching Band. Go Cuyahoga!
We took Libby to her first movie a few weeks ago.
Oh, yeah?
Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check.
Berkshire to kick, Cuyahoga to receive from the north end zone.
Welcome back for second half action on your CVC TV Game of the Week. Berkshire traveling to take on Cuyahoga Heights. And we are presented by the Ohio Center for Facial, Oral, and Implant Surgery. Set to kick it off, Vargas back with a right foot end over end. And Cuyahoga Heights will receive this second half kickoff. Francis Connors, one of the up men, collecting that at about his 20-yard line, getting out across the 30-yard line. Looks like they will spot it right at the Heights 35-yard line, and that is where Cuyahoga Heights will take over 1st and 10 to start this second half, trailing 21-14 here as we start the third quarter. It was kind of a tale of two quarters if you're just joining us in that first half. Heights got out to an early lead, taking a 14-0 lead just a few seconds into the second quarter on a Ryan Kadrewski 56-yard touchdown run and a 48-yard pass from Seth Kusia to David Collins. First play from scrimmage, Ryan Kadrewski trying to get the offense back going for Heights and gets over midfield inside Badger territory at the Badger 47-yard line.
Takes the ball inside Berkshire's territory.
Able to pick up 17 yards on the first play from scrimmage. Get you some of those first half stats here in just a moment as Heights back up to the line. Quarterback Luke Torgerson getting the handoff and up the middle. He keeps it himself up the middle as he did most of that first half. One of their successful plays was Torgerson faking the handoff and just keeping himself, dragging defenders up through the middle. And he gets down to the 43-yard line. Bring up a 2nd down and 6. 11-10 to go here in the third quarter. Torgerson back under center. Kadrewski right behind him. Kadrewski will get the handoff and get stuffed right at the 40-yard line. And that is where the ball will be marked down. Gain of 3 on the play. Bring up a 3rd and short on this opening possession of the second half. As we were kind of saying, Heights got off to that 14-0 lead, and then it became the Lucas Stoddard show, transitioning from just offensive line to offensive line / tight end on offense, getting a chance to run the ball. 65-yard touchdown, and also caught a pass from the new quarterback, Miles Miller, this season for Berkshire. As Berkshire again in the backfield of Heights. Heights kind of started that defensive intensity to start the game, and Berkshire's been taking over in the trenches as of late and bring up a loss of 1. 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. Heights trailing 21-14, so a 4th down and 4 scenario. As some confusion about personnel in and out of the field as David Collins and Caleb Mahoney check out. Checking in, Seth Kusia. So it looks like Heights in somewhat of a punt formation. Kadrewski with just a slight little punt trying to get down on coverage. Meadwell was trying to get down to hem the Badgers in deep, but that one goes into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line for a touchback. Kadrewski was trying to pop that one up in the air, got more of a line drive, so as it hits this kind of turf, just going to skip and roll into that end zone without someone, a special teams player down there to down the football. So Badgers leading 21-14, 2 touchdowns by the new tight end, Lucas Stoddard. Again, it was a 37-yard catch to put them up and give them the lead with 35 seconds left in the first half from Miller to Stoddard. Miller will come out on the first play from scrimmage, call his own number, and scampers out across the 25, just shy of the 30-yard line. A gain of 9, bring up a 2nd down and 1. Some of your first half stats. Passing leaders for both teams. For Berkshire, Miles Miller, he was 4 of 10 for 79 yards. And that's touchdown to Stoddard. as Berkshire will pick up the first down. Tough yards there.
First down, Badger.
Gain of 5 out to the 34 goes Josh Brown, who they're looking for big things from and kind of leading the young skill position group over there at Berkshire High School.
34.
So quickly back in formation. Miller again will call his own number, evades a few defenders, cuts it back up middle. He's inside Heights territory, across the 45, inside the 40-yard line, and quickly hands the ball to the referee as Badgers are trying to pick up the tempo of this game. But Miller, a couple good runs, and there inside the 40 down to the Heights 39-yard line. As we'll have another stoppage of play. Heights will call their first timeout. 8:26 to go in the third quarter. As already they were on their heels to end the first half, and not a lot has changed coming out of the locker room. And now Berkshire can sense it. They're picking up the tempo. Miller, as soon as he got up from the tackle, he was sprinting over to the referee to spot the ball so that they could get plays going again, because they felt that momentum early in this third quarter. They're trying to extend this lead, already leading 21-14. As we mentioned to start the third quarter, the presenting sponsor of CVC TV is the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery, with their doctors Keith Schneider, Jill Weber, Jacqueline Tomsick, and the CVC Commissioner Don Lewis. They specialize in dental surgery, implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website, www.ohsurgery.com. That's www.ohsurgery.com. Thank you to the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery for all their support for the CVC and CVC TV. So a gain of 5 on the first down play coming out of the timeout. Announcer spots it at 2nd and 6. Board has it 2nd and 5. And now Josh Brown getting a chance to get his hands on the football, make a play. And he quickly gets inside the red zone at the 15-yard line of Cuyahoga Heights. And Berkshire on the move, trying to each and every single play, trying to pick up that tempo, and every single play that goes by in this ball game, Miles Miller gets more and more comfortable. This time he will hand off to the touchdown maker of the first half, Lucas Stoddard, who gets stuffed up at the line of scrimmage, may have gained a yard on that play. So bring up a 2nd down and 9 for the Badgers.
Down and 9 to go.
$7:10 left here in the third quarter. Miller at the helm. Quick snap. He wasn't ready for it. Just has to slide down. Back at the 20-yard line. Gave himself up, and a little extra play by Heights defender coming through. He'd already given himself up on the ground. Miller was not ready for that snap. So a miscommunication between center and quarterback. It brings up a loss of 4 on the play, or 3 on the play actually. So bring up a 3rd down and 12 at the 20-yard line of Cuyahoga Heights. Miller gets the snap. Looking to his right, rolling out to the right, looking downfield in the end zone, doesn't see anything, cuts back, has a little bit of space, making defenders miss, and gets thrown out of bounds here on this near sideline. Not enough for the first down, but what an effort by Miller here on the near sideline. He was hemmed in as his eyes were downfield, saw a little bit of a lane, a jump cut, able to get some of that yardage back. Gets inside the 15 at the 14-yard line, but he'll still bring up a 4th down and medium, 4th down and 6. So Berkshire will bring on Salvatore Vargas, their junior kicker, to try this field goal. as we have whistles, as we've had all night long, whistles to stop play.
Timeout Badgers.
As Berkshire will now talk this play over and maybe changing their minds or second guessing their decision to kick the field goal here. 4th down and 6 with 6:16 to go. Berkshire still leading 21-14. And of course, as we have gotten play underway, just kind of going back to some of those first half stats, we've kind of added to those to this point, but just kind of look at the distinction between these two teams and Berkshire's ability to get back in this ball game in that first half. Not a lot through the air for either team. 79 yards for Berkshire, only 58 yards for Cuyahoga Heights. Garcia has the 1 touchdown throw. Torgerson, the starting quarterback, only 1 of 4, 10 yards and 2 interceptions. But rushing attack has kind of been the name of the game. In the first half, Berkshire ran it 17 times for 136 yards. As Miller, they come out in 4th down, and it's wide open in the end zone. Miller, the elusive Badger in the backfield, able to buy himself enough time to find the open receiver standing all alone here on the near side of the end zone. Berkshire takes the timeout, comes out, goes for it on 4th down, and it pays off as Miller connects and puts the Badgers up 27-14 with 6:10 left in the third quarter. High snap, ball down, kick up, kick good. 4 for 4 from Salvatore Vargas on the night. And Berkshire doubles their lead, doubles up Cuyahoga Heights, 28-14. 28 unanswered points by Berkshire. And you can really see how comfortable Miller is getting behind this experienced offensive line for Berkshire. He's buying time. He knows his line is blocking in front of him. And when he gets out of the pocket, these roll out to the right. Heights is doing a good job of trying to get him to the sideline and force everything, take off almost 95% of the field. But it's just that subtle little jump cut from Miller that either opens up a running lane or, on that play, a passing lane. So a 14-yard passing touchdown for Miller. And again, gives Berkshire the lead 28-14. And speaking of that offensive line for Berkshire, just looking at both their offensive line and defensive front seven, that's where the experience is. We mentioned it several times. They're returning 3 of their 5 starters on their offensive line and 5 of their front 7 this season. And we talked about it in the first half. That just helps a young quarterback, a young team. When you have the trenches, you have the defensive and offensive fronts pretty much as a strength or possibly even an advantage coming into every game for you. It's going to give you an opportunity to try to win a CVC title.
Heights will take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
So a little squib kick from Vargas, and ball was down at the 35-yard line of Heights. So Luke Torgerson and this Cuyahoga Heights offense looking for answers, looking for a spark on this drive. Still plenty of time left in this game, but we're already halfway through the third quarter. And referees spot something on the wrist of tight end, defensive end, offensive lineman for the Badgers, Lucas Stoddard, forcing him to go out. And replacement coming in he'll be replaced by Ethan Brindle, the Menor transfer. So Torgerson under center. He will pitch it to Kadrewski coming left side. Bulldozes his way over the 40-yard line, trying to break a tackle, but holding on, Josh Brown and Ethan McCaskey on the tackle. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5 coming up for Cuyahoga Heights. Again, a lot of time left in this one. 5:40 left in the third quarter. But Heights needs to find that spark on offense here quickly, because that clock, with the ability for Berkshire to change pace out there on the field, they can really chew up some clock if they get the ball back. But Kadrewski has something to say about that, as runs for 7 yards over the 45 out to the 47, 1st and 10. And maybe for Cuyahoga Heights, maybe it's a sustained drive that they need to really build some momentum. As flags fly on this play, some early movement on Cuyahoga Heights, so they'll back them up 5 yards, and it'll turn into a 1st and 15 on this next snap. And it's just as I was saying, putting a sustained drive together, you cannot shoot yourself in the foot with pre-snap penalties like that. Early movement, knowing the snap count. But again, game one, both squads putting in that work in the offseason. Here in the summer, Torgerson calling his own number, pushes the pile for a couple yards to just shy of their own 45-yard line. But both squads putting in that work in the summer, and here in camp, they're 2 days going through their scrimmages. But some guys in new positions, and a school like Cuyahoga Heights, who broke their streak of 5 straight seasons last year of going to a regional final game in the playoffs. They only made it to the first round last year. Torgerson, a good left-armed throw across the field. May have been Cusia on that reception, and as we have a Berkshire Badger down on the ground, so we'll get an official timeout, 4:20 to go, and send our best to the injured player. Don't have a number just yet. We'll get that in a second. We're never going to speculate on any injuries here on CVC TV, but we know that the medical staffs and the hospital systems that connect with the high schools here in Northeast Ohio are top-notch in the entire nation. So we know that they will take care of these student athletes. You never want to see any player go down in any sort of game. We just let the medical staff do what they need to do. And, of course, teammates will always try to pick up any fellow brethren or in other sports sisters that go down on the field, and try to play for them and for themselves at the same time. So while they attend to the injured Berkshire Badger player, we will reset things for you. 4:20 to go here in the third quarter. Berkshire leading the hosts, Cuyahoga Heights, 28-14, as Berkshire has been able to score 28 unanswered points on Cuyahoga Heights, who first quarter and some change, they were dominating up front, both sides of the line. And as soon as Lucas Stoddard got his name in the score sheet, or something was said on that sideline, something changed in the demeanor, the focus of Berkshire, and they have scored those 28 straight points and haven't looked back to this point. Heights will come out for a 3rd down and 6, looking to keep this drive going, as their offense has been stymied on their last several drives, even going back to the beginning portion of the second quarter. Kadrewski trying to stretch it out, and good contain on the far side. There's that man again. Number 8, the quarterback, the safety, Miles Miller on the stop. Keeping Kadrewski from getting all the way outside, bringing him back up inside, and getting that open field tackle right at the line of scrimmage. May have lost the yard for a 4th down and 7. Looks like they're going to keep 4th down and 6 on the board. So that's what we will go with here on our broadcast as well. And at this time, as we are right about 3.5 minutes left in the third quarter, just over midfield, Al Martin calls for them to go for it. And that snap over the head of Luke Torgerson, and he just has to fall on it. So Berkshire will take over on a loss of downs. Another turnover for Cuyahoga Heights as Torgerson had thrown 2 interceptions in that first half, and now a loss of downs in this half. One of those interceptions from Torgerson fell into the hands of Miles Miller, who leads this team out for this offensive possession for the Badgers. And he ran that back for 6. So kind of helped build that momentum. Miller and Stoddard show for Berkshire since a couple minutes into the second quarter. Miller will call his own number, making guys miss, dragging defenders down this near sideline as another injured Badger on the field. A pickup of 13 there for Miller, just outside the red zone at the Heights 22-yard line. Again, medical staff quickly out to attend to the injured player. And you don't. Now, going back to that possession by Heights, you can't blame Coach Martin for going for it there. Each quarter in high school football is 12 minutes, but don't really have those commercial breaks, timeouts, TV timeouts, anything like that. CVC TV, we don't bring those TV timeouts. Let the kids play, as they say. But you can't blame Coach Martin for going for it. Already 3/4 of the way through this third quarter, and just haven't been able to find that big play or that one spark. Berkshire found it in the 65-yard run by Stoddard down this near sideline to the end zone, and a guy that has been playing offensive line his entire career at Berkshire, and now, his senior year, getting a chance to play on the offensive side in the skill position side of things for Berkshire, as the fans give a well-deserved round of applause as the Berkshire athlete is up. Was walking off under their own power, but now will be assisted by teammates. Looks like the senior defensive tackle, center and defensive tackle, 5'10", 210-pound senior Cage Martin, the injured Berkshire player. So we send all our best to him. Earlier, the player down was Josh Brown, as he was actually helping Cage Martin off, but Coach DeWeese told him to stay in there. Now he is flanking Miles Miller on his right hip. Stoddard kind of offset from the offensive line. 2 receivers out to the far side. Miller trying to run that fake. They ran for that 65-yard touchdown to Stoddard. Not fooled this time were the Heights defenders, and making a big play in the backfield. Loss of 8 on the play, so a huge play to hem back the Badgers. So it'll be a 2nd down and 18. 2:50 to go. Quarter number 3 here at Cuyahoga Heights High School. Week 1 of Ohio high school football back under the lights. The sun has gone down. Kind of see a bit of the sun haze along the horizon, just through the tree line, but the lights are on here at the stadium here, and good throw by Miller. He looked for the swing pass out of the backfield and caught the linebacking core looking, and a dart to the middle of the field. Brought in by Jack Hastings. Jack Hastings made a couple big catches for Miller on offense. So 3rd down and 4, much more manageable in this situation. Picking up 14 on that 2nd down and 18 play. Big for the Badgers. Kind of keep this drive alive, keep some clock churning, and possibly try to go into the end zone. And Miller looks like he will pick up that 1st down, just following his lead blockers off the right side of his offensive line. And down inside the 10-yard line, it'll be 1st and goal Badgers at the Heights 7-yard line. Mentioned it in the first half. Looked like Heights was trying to use their running game and get back to that identity that they've had for so long that led them to those 5 straight regional final appearances in the Ohio State playoffs. Trying to use that to open up their passing game. Badgers found a way to use their passing game to open up the run game for Miller. Miller trying to cut it back up inside as good pursuit by Heights. Good way to set the edge on the far side. And no gain, so right back to the line of scrimmage goes Miller at the 7-yard line. So 2nd and goal now. 1:03 left in the 3rd quarter. Badgers leading 28-14. Miller and his offense looking over at Coach DeWeese, their offensive staff, for the play call. Brown flanking on the hip. He'll bring one man in motion. Brown will run it to the left, trying to get around the edge. A flag comes in late on that play. We'll see what the call is, but Heights able to stop him short. It was only going to be a 1-yard gain. As early indication looks like it is on the Badgers. Waiting for official word here, official signal. A legal block in the back is announced over the PA system here at Cuyahoga Heights High School's stadium. So Badgers moving back. They'll have a 2nd down play from the Heights 16-yard line. So loss of 9 on the play from the original line of scrimmage. Foul must have occurred at the 6-yard line, so they took it 10 yards from the spot of the foul. So 2nd down and goal from the 16-yard line. 40 seconds left. Swing pass out here to the right. Miles, and good tackle from behind. Good connection between Miller and his receiver, Mason Mendelera. But Dominic Trousseau, good hustle from the backside of the play to stop him short. Gain of 7 as the clock ticks down towards the end of the 3rd quarter. 10 seconds and counting here in the 3rd quarter. Both teams will just be content to take it to the 4th quarter. Badgers didn't have to run a play to end. And 000s on the scoreboard. At the end of the 3rd quarter, Badgers in control of this one. 28-14 over Cuyahoga Heights. As Badgers were able to outscore Heights in that quarter 7-0. Miles Miller getting a touchdown pass, using his legs to buy some time here on the near sideline, finding his receiver. It was tough to see the number on that. We'll look at the stats for the final game. I'm sure you guys saw that on the broadcast. Thank you all for tuning in. This is the CVC TV Game of the Week, brought to you by the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. They are our title sponsor of CVC TV, as they were last season as well. Their practice diagnoses and treats your facial pain and injuries. They will also offer you a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery for all your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Please visit their website at www.oh8surgery.com. That's www.oh8surgery.com. And if you're interested in sponsoring CVC TV as well, you can always reach out. Head on over to the CVC website, chagrinvalleyconference.com, for all the details on how to become a sponsor. So 3rd and goal for the Badgers from the Heights 8-yard line. Miller trying to loft it to Stoddard on the far side. And just out of his reach. A little too much mustard on that pass from Miller to Stoddard. Not able to hang on, so we'll bring up a 4th and goal. 11:55 left to go in the ball game. Berkshire up 28-14. They're going to look to add 3. They were looking to kick a field goal earlier, but decided to go for it on 4th down, and Miller was able to convert on the touchdown. This time they will take the field goal, snap down, ball up, and sent it wide left. Miles Miller, the holder for Salvatore Vargas, still putting his arms up, thinking that that went on the inside. It was tough to see from our vantage point as we are just sitting just below the press box, right at midfield, in the midst of the fans for both Berkshire and Cuyahoga Heights. But the signal is no good, so Heights gets the stop and keeps it a 28-14 ball game with 11:51 left. But Heights is going to have to do something they may not have worked on as much in the summer, and as their up-tempo offense, as they've been trying to run the ball up the middle, trying to get big chunk plays. But with little time left, they're going to go for another trick play, though, and that is the big play they're looking for. Kadrewski getting the pitch this time, rolling out a wobbly pass, but it works all the same. Goes into the hands, the waiting secure arms of Anthony Katuzis out here just shy of their own 45-yard line at the 44. And Heights in business to start this drive. Torgerson keeping it himself, faking the handoff to Kadrewski, and gets 4.5, 5 yards, just shy of midfield. Nose of the football sitting right at the 49-yard line. So gain of 5, 2nd down and 5. Clock continues to tick. Ticking under 11 minutes to go. This time, Torgerson pitch to Kadrewski. He's got some space. He'll get the 1st down over the 35. Leaping a defender. It's upended slightly. Down inside the 35 at the 32-yard line. So they are entering Badger territory. 42-yard line, my apologies. Gain of 9 and a 1st down and 10. And that's what Heights wants to see. They want to see a fresh set of downs. And if they can break a big play, they're going to try. Torgerson going down by Lucas Stoddard in the backfield again. Torgerson, eyes downfield, was trying to escape the pocket. And as soon as his eyes came back to the pocket, trying to find the space, his eyes met Stoddard's, and Stoddard brought him down for his second or it's got to be his 2nd or 3rd sack of the game. Looking at the stats that we were handed at halftime, don't have the sack numbers. We'll try to get that here from the press box here in a little while if we can. But we do see another Badger player on the ground. So medical staff out to attend to the injured player just inside that center circle painted on the field. 10:31 to go in the fourth quarter. Berkshire leading 28-14. And although Berkshire is young, inexperienced at some key positions, they weren't afraid to talk about how dynamic their young athletes are and how they still feel confident. And I know reading the News Herald write-up and even the write-up in the Plain Dealer, Cleveland.com, everybody said the same thing. If the young athletes come together and make some plays, this Berkshire team could really do something in the CVC Valley Division this season. Torgerson, good connection on that throw. The injured player for Berkshire getting up and being able to walk off under his own power, Ethan Brindall. Torgerson able to connect on that last play with David Collins.
3rd down, 6 to go.
3rd down and 6. Key 3rd down for Heights. They need to convert on this possession, and he's got a wide open receiver. Good timing on the crossing pattern. Torgerson to Meadwell.
Number 16, Jason Meadwell for a Cuyahoga first down.
Cuyahoga Heights get the first down inside the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now clock will continue to run. Torgerson's most likely going to operate more so out of this shotgun formation. Been under center a lot, but now he's just going to look to kind of drop back and just quick hitters. He was trying to hit Collins on that sideline, just too much.
2nd and 10.
Understand the idea, the concept there. Just little chunk plays, and if you can break a big one, you can break a big one. But trying to at least keep the chains moving, find some sort of offensive element and consistency. And these are key situations too. It's only game 1, but you're a running team that needs to throw to catch up at the end of a game, and you can have some success with it early on in the season. Now you're not just building to try to win a game, you're also building for situations later on in the year as these conference tests come down to one game here, one play there throughout the season. So after that 2nd down and 10 play, a gain of 7 between good connection brewing already between Torgerson and Meadwell. 3rd down and 3, Torgerson back to pass again into the waiting arms of Collins. And they're just making quick reads, easy reads for Torgerson. Badgers kind of playing some off coverage, and Cuyahoga Heights, their wide receivers are just little out and ups, out and ins, just trying to gain as many yards as they can. If there's some space in front of them, get some yards after the catch. So after that catch by Collins at the 9-yard line is 1st down and 10. Kudrewski will get the handoff down to the 5-yard line. That'll bring up a 2nd down and goal. 8:35 to go in the ball game. Berkshire 28, Cuyahoga Heights 14. Berkshire scoring 28 unanswered since the 10:57 mark left in the 2nd quarter. And they have been dominant up front, but Cuyahoga Heights finding some rhythm on this possession. And as they're inside goal-to-go situation, trying to use Kudrewski to break that run. But only a couple yards, inching closer and closer to the goal line. But now you leave yourself with 2 plays to get a touchdown. 3rd and goal from the Badger 3-yard line. And of course, when you have a coach in your program for 25 years, he knows how to connect with each new generation of kids, and you can just see that connection between coach and quarterback, Martin and Torgerson. Torgerson under duress, but calm, cool, and collected. The crossing pattern between him and Jason Meadwell goes for 6, a 3-yard touchdown pass. Nice and easy up the field. 7:23 to go, and the Heights cut into that Badger lead, 28-20. Meadwell being the safety valve for Torgerson all drive long. Good route runner is Meadwell, and he will be the holder for this point after attempt. Owen Schukert in to attempt the extra point. As end over end kick, no doubt about it, down the middle. So they cut that lead in half, or deficit in half, excuse me. 28-21 Berkshire, 7:23 left in the ball game. And this is the type of action you're going to get all season long on CVC TV, whether you're tuned in on ChagrinValleyConference.com or our YouTube channel, or even watching on replay throughout the week. Whether it's in-division or cross-division matchups, a 2016 league, you're going to get down to the wire battles week to week, and we can't wait to bring all of the action, a full 10-game slate for you this season. We'll get into kind of where we'll go next after this week, towards the end of the ball game, after the ball game is over, as we got a lot more action left to bring you. But will be a tentative schedule. Adjustments can happen as they did today. Unfortunate cancellation out in Beechwood, so able to connect with Cuyahoga Heights, and Berkshire very more than accommodating and providing us with all the information we needed and space we need to bring this game live to you this evening. Live in picture. And it was so nice to have live streaming of games last season, and I think high schools and communities saw how important that was for all the different outlets that were bringing live streaming of games and bringing it back to you in a full slate this year. Schukert kicks this one down to Brown, who takes a hit. Josh Brown, the junior, collected that and got just over the 25-yard line, bringing that kick out to the 27-yard line, and that's where Berkshire's offense will take over, looking to run some clock. We'll see what the approach is here from Coach DeWeese and his offense. Are they going to stay aggressive? Are they going to try to end this one by getting a score of their own, or are they going to try to use clock? Both teams down to 2 timeouts remaining with 7:20 left in the fourth quarter. So out of the huddle come the Badgers. Brown on Miller's left hip, Miller directing one of his receivers, Hastings, and Stoddard to switch sides of the field. And then 2 outside receivers. Hastings will come in motion. Brown will get the handoff and trying to escape, but getting stopped in the backfield. Loss of 1 on the play. Back to the 26 goes.
Short loss in the play. 2nd and 11 to go for Berkshire.
So Brown getting knocked down, the initial hit by Decca. Colin Decca able to get penetration in the backfield, and that's what Heights is going to need on this defensive possession. They want to get that ball back. Going to need to get that penetration we saw early in the first quarter, as we will have a timeout, Berkshire. 6:37 left. Berkshire clinging to the 28-21 lead. You feel a little bit of energy starting to meander its way from the far sideline to the near sideline. Fans are getting into it, parents, friends, families that came to watch this game this evening, trying to get a little energy out there for them as well. But even as Heights has brought some momentum or pushback towards Berkshire, as Berkshire took control of this game from the second quarter on, for a young, inexperienced squad, you see a lot of poise and a lot of calm over on that sideline. And you see it here on the Heights sideline too. What does that speak to? That speaks to coaching. That speaks to the connection between student athlete and coach, who's a teacher, a mentor for their athletes. So out of the timeout we come. Second down and 11 for Berkshire. Miller will get the snap. He will hand it off to Stoddard, who is just bulldozing his way, as he's kind of done in this second half. Gain of 12 on the play, out to the 37-yard line, and it looks like that'll be a first down. Clock stops momentarily, but once those chains are set, that clock will run. That's a key first down for Berkshire to now chew up more clock. Berkshire down to one timeout, but timeouts, time left on the clock matters here on the Cuyahoga Heights sideline. Flag flies as we have a false start. Looked like it was called on number 34, Ethan McCaskey, who had been flanking Miller in the backfield on his left hip. Miller was looking to take a step towards his line to change the play. McCaskey had already established his stance and came out of it. So back them up 5 yards. So 1st and 15, and with Badgers behind the sticks, Heights defense looking to take advantage of it, and a crushing tackle. Miller taking the handoff or the run himself. Heights coming through. Miller, a tough kid. Miller, only a sophomore, playing QB and safety for Berkshire. He's listed at 5'8", 150 pounds. Took a big hit right at the line of scrimmage, right at their own 35, but got up quickly, and now he'll have a little bit more protection in the backfield. This time he'll hand off to Brown. Brown saw a little bit of daylight on that far side, and that was closed quickly after only a gain of 2 yards. Third and 12. We see on the board 5:05 left, and most important play of the game right here. Wouldn't say that it's the ball game, but you get a stop here if you're Heights. You leave yourself plenty of time, plenty of timeouts to try to put a tying drive together. Miller taking an extra look over at his sideline. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, will step up in the pocket. He's got a man, and Stoddard will climb the ladder over midfield, over the 45. We do have a flag on the play. We'll see if this one comes back, but Stoddard just boxing out as if he's trying to get that rebound. That's what you want out of that big body tight end. Just box out, go up, high point the football, and come down with it. And the flag will go on Cuyahoga Heights, so that will be a first down into Heights territory. 4:37 left.
First down, Berkshire.
And so it is a first down, so they will tack 15 yards onto this one. And as the referee slowly strides out to mark this football, go all the way down inside Heights 30-yard line at the 28, 1st and 10. And a play Heights desperately needed goes in favor of the Badgers, and now First down and 10. They can chew more time off that clock, trying to force Heights to take those timeouts. Brown around the edge inside the 20, and he just slides down, seeing the defender in front of him. But a good run up the sideline, staying inbounds to keep that clock running. Looks like he was able to get just enough at the 18-yard line. First and 10 inside the red zone. Gain of 10 by Brown. And a team that has been kind of no huddle all night long has started to go into the Cuyahoga Heights full traditional style huddle and waiting till a certain point to take the snap. And again, Miller gave himself up on the ground. Player coming in late onto the pile. Didn't hit him with all of his force as he was trying to hold up. You could see them trying to hold up, but still, with all of the protection and health concerns put forth by the Ohio High School Athletic Association, it's weird to see a quarterback hit like that after he's already gave himself up and not be a personal foul. But I know that Heights was they weren't trying to hit Miller. They were trying to hold up. But maybe a little bit of a sell job by Miller on the ground there. But Miller's been playing one heck of a game, especially this second half. We mentioned only a sophomore, and the poise in this second half to lead his team. They were up at halftime, able to stretch that lead out to 28-14. Heights on their last possession, getting the 3-yard touchdown pass from Torgerson to Meadwell. But now, with the aids of some penalties and chunk yardage for Berkshire, they are on a drive, 3:16 left. Clock is stopped at 3:16. 3rd down and 7 for Berkshire at the Heights 15-yard line. Miller in the shotgun, motion started across the formation. 2 receivers out here to the near side. He'll hand it off to Stoddard, looking for some sort of lane up the middle. Get 2 or 3 yards. Maybe a little bit more. And Cuyahoga Heights will call their second of their 3 timeouts to stop the clock at 3:07, trailing 28-21. Both teams looking to get off to that crucial 1-0 start. And of course, whichever team gets off to that 1-0 start, you know what they say about 1-0. Shout out to former Ohio State head coach and current Jacksonville Jaguars head coach, Urban Meyer. He used to tweet that out all the time and still does during the college football season as Ohio State is playing. He still keeps an eye there. Before we do end the night here this evening, we want to, of course, thank our sponsors once again. And we want to thank FRST. The Chagrin Valley Conference is a proud partner of FRST, First Response for Sports Trauma Course and Physicians Ambulance. Through this important partnership, FRST has helped prepare our first responders on the sidelines and throughout the league to consistently and expertly respond to trauma on the field of play. Thank you to Physicians Ambulance and FRST for keeping our CVC community safe. For more information about this partnership, visit chagrinvalleyconference.com. And as they came out of the timeout a little quickly there, Miller had Stoddard wide open inside the 10 for a first down. Badgers were with the gutsy call to go for it. Stoddard took his eyes off the ball, started looking upfield, trying to get the hat trick of touchdowns on the night. He has 1 rushing, 1 receiving touchdown. So it's a total of 2. He was on a hat trick, you would say. I know that term doesn't get used much in football, but his eyes, and you can't blame the kid. First opportunity to play on offense, get to make some plays. Torgerson coming out firing on the first down and 10 play. We tick under 3 minutes to go. Good connection with Collins across the 20-yard line. Maybe second down and 2. Clock continues to tick, bobbles the snap, and slow throw going to the ground was Schukert, but just out of his reach. So quickly, after a good first down play, we go to a third down and 2. And a crucial time to pick it up with 2:41 left and Heights trailing 28-21. But again, we have another player down for Berkshire. As we said, we will not speculate on any injuries. Yes, it was humid, it was hot to start the game. Still feel a little bit of that humidity in the air. We were in those dog days of summer in Northeast Ohio. But we'll let the medical staff figure out the issue, work on the issue, try to get the player back on the field, and we'll get that player's name for you here in just a second. What a game to start week 1 of CVC TV's second season of live coverage of high school football. And I'm sure there'll be opportunities for some other sports to get the spotlight throughout the weeks as the days of the fall season goes on. As the cheerleading squad for Cuyahoga Heights tries to get the crowd amped up. We're down to our right as Berkshire Badger player Hunter Nicholson been doing a good job along that defensive line this whole game, able to walk off under his own power, which is good to see. So after a stoppage in play, third down and we'll call it a long 2. 2:40 left. Stretch play to Kadrewski, and it is going nowhere. If anything, it's going backwards. And a big loss on that play, a loss you could not afford if you are Cuyahoga Heights. And a loss of a few on that play. They'll say it's a 4th and 7. One official was almost right in line with the initial down marker on the other side. So Heights will have to go for this one, 4th and 7. Torgerson under pressure, escapes, trying to look and throw downfield. Kadrewski has in his hands. Does he have enough? He does. Good way to keep the play alive and help your quarterback out on the sideline. Kadrewski pick up about 9 or 10 out across the 25-yard line. It'll be a first down and 10. But again, a lot of Badger players have been going down in this second half. So a minute 58 and a crucial 4th down and 7 hemmed in on their own end of the field. Torgerson to the ever reliable Ryan Kadrewski picking up that first down after a big loss on 3rd down. Much needed. Heights still has 2 timeouts left. A minute 58 to go, trailing by 7, 28-21. But still, almost 75 yards to go, 73 yards to be exact from the end zone line on the other side of the field. And as we do have this injury timeout, we want to continue to send our best to all the student athletes on a healthy, safe, enjoyable, successful season this year in the CVC. And of course, we wouldn't be able to bring you this action as, again, a very classy crowd here at Cuyahoga Heights. Yes, you got Berkshire fans, but Cuyahoga Heights as well. Cage Martin going down. I think that's the second time he's been gone down, but again, the best sign is him being able to walk off on his own under his own power. So as he walks off, Cuyahoga Heights quickly up to the line, and as soon as referees give the signal, they are ready to go. First down and 10 at their own 27. Just under 2 minutes left in week 1. Trying to forge a comeback. Torgerson gets hit and knocked down in the backfield. A big loss on the play. Getting in there on the sack, Hunter Nicholson, the first to meet Torgerson, and drop back all the way back to the 19-yard line. Torgerson trying to hurry up his offense to get back to the line. Throw out here to Collins. Picks up a few yards, trying to break a couple tackles. And ball is out. I thought I heard a whistle to stop play, to stop forward progress, and they did. So picks up 7, and it is a 3rd down and 13. Again, Meadwell on the catch, got some space in front of him, trying to make a couple men miss. He's got to get out past the 37, and he does by a couple yards. Heck of an effort by Meadwell, and that crossing pattern, the speed of Meadwell has been huge in this comeback for Heights. Torgerson looking right, looking for Collins, and maybe a benefit to them with 1:03 left. That ball goes into the turf. Looked like Collins was right at the sticks, though, and board still shows that Heights has 2 timeouts. But time of the essence for Cuyahoga Heights. It's going to be a throwing-only offense, an offense that loves to run, but you're finding those targets, especially in the slot with Meadwell. Good catch in traffic. Torgerson still in the field of play, but Torgerson connecting with Connors. And now Lucas Stoddard goes down. So another injury timeout. 53 seconds left on the clock. I mean, a guy that's done everything for Berkshire tonight. We talk about our Mr. Everything. Stoddard catching a touchdown, running for a touchdown, sacking the quarterback, blocking along the offensive line, shedding blocks along the defensive line, making those key run stops on defense. So you hope the best for him, and don't want to see any player go down, especially one that's been having an impact like Stoddard. We do have a moment, though. One final thank you to our title sponsor, the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Their practice, diagnoses, and treats facial pain and injuries, and also offers a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery for all your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Of course, you've heard the website all night, but if you are just tuning in, you've missed a heck of a ball game and you've missed the website. So I'll say it again, www.ohsurgery.com. That's www.ohsurgery.com. Stoddard able to, the good thing about all these injuries, each player's been able to walk off on his own power, and some respect shown for the effort he's put in tonight between the head official and Stoddard. So those are those cool little moments you get to see of respect between referees, players, all of that. Torgerson connecting there with Schukert. Looks like a first down, so the clock will stop just shy of midfield at their own 49. 49.2 seconds left now. Clock will run on the ready for play. Chains having a difficult time getting set, but the referee still blows for the clock to run. Torgerson trying to get out of a tackle, and Heights, another sack for Berkshire. Heights needs to use a timeout, and they do. 9 seconds going off the clock, 40.2. Loss of 4 on the play, or 3, back to the 46. But under a minute to go, not what you can't take a sack in those situations. And Torgerson knows that. Second-year starter for Cuyahoga Heights. It's just Berkshire's doing a great job along that defensive front, getting penetration, and before Torgerson even has a chance to set his feet most of the time, he is looking at 3 or 4 white shirts from Berkshire in his face. You got to give credit to the line coaches for Berkshire. They have prepared this team. Heights came out early. They were dominating on both sides of the ball, but it didn't take long for those in-game adjustments to take hold. And the confidence that Berkshire has in their line on both sides, you've really seen that strength really show through time and time again this evening. Torgerson back to pass, looking to throw, trying to get up the sideline. He's got some space, and he will get out of bounds. Just in, getting over midfield, right at the 40-yard line, just enough for another first down, and clock stops 33.7 seconds to go. They'll mark it back 1 yard at the 41-yard line. The clock will run. But he got, the coaches are looking back at the timekeeper, but the head referee gave the signal to run the clock. I'm not sure why, because Torgerson was able to get out of bounds. So they'll bump it back up to 34 seconds. We had ticked all the way down to 27.5. There's a reason why Torgerson gave himself up and went out of bounds, because thought that was just like an extra timeout to keep the clock stopped. And everybody was confused by that one. But nonetheless, they do add the time, 34 seconds. Torgerson to Kadrewski. Good out pattern up the sideline.
First down, Cuyahoga.
Looks like just enough for a first down. Or just shy, actually. It looks like it'll be a yard shy of a first down. 2nd down and 1 coming up. Where they were spotting the ball, there was discrepancy by a couple yards, I would say, of where to spot that football. And now a lot of confusion. We've seen it all game long. The whistle started early, and they haven't stopped. We haven't seen a lot of flags. We've just heard a lot of whistles this evening. One referee here on the near side looking across to the chain gang, telling them that it's only 2nd down. Chains had moved, put a first down. Referee on that side seemed okay with it. But nonetheless, it'll be a 2nd down and 2. 29.4 seconds. And Stoddard back into the ball game with another sack. This guy is everywhere. As Heights hustles back to the line, they do have a timeout. 14 seconds to go, and Torgerson will just spike the football, 12.8, but a lot of time coming off the clock. Going from 2nd down and 2 all the way back to 4th. They have 4th down, of course, and 11. Taking that spike on 3rd down and 11. They took a loss of 9 on that sack. I mean, good luck blocking Stoddard all season long. This guy is a beast, and you see why he was All-Ohio, but he is on a mission probably to get first-team All-Ohio. As movement early, they don't blow a whistle. Jump ball. David Collins looked like he pushed off, and he breaks free, and he goes. He goes to the end zone. A jump ball from Torgerson to Collins on a desperation heave. 4th down and forever. With only 4 seconds left, Heights puts 6 on the board. My goodness. May have gotten away with a subtle push-off, but arms were not extended. No call on the field. There could have been early motion on that play too. but there are no flags. Berkshire will call a timeout, but boy, when they needed it most, Torgerson to Collins, breaks free of one defender, runs it into the end zone, and it is 28-27, pending the extra point to tie this ball game up. My goodness, what a ball game. When it looked like Berkshire was in control, Heights finds a way here at home to give themselves the chance. Again, it's all pending the extra point. I guess the question becomes, does Al Martin get risky here? Does he go for two? Does he use that odd extra point formation? Does he have a play out of that to go for two? Or do you just go for the tie and we go to overtime? So on to take the kick, Owen Schukert out of the hold of Meadwell, and it goes through, and we are tied. 4.7 seconds left. Berkshire 28, Cuyahoga Heights 28. And I told y'all to buckle in early. If you've been buckled in this whole time, kudos to you watching at home or wherever you're watching us at. If you're just tuning in, you're going to need to go back and watch this one because you've missed a lot, but you're still in for a fantastic finish. Heights, special teams coordinator telling him to take a deep breath. Don't want to give up any sort of big play with all of this excitement in this stadium right now. This 4.7 seconds is enough time to run one back. Berkshire may look to try to use some of that speed that we have seen on display tonight, some of those young athletes. If this is how we're starting out on CVC TV, boy, this season is going to get good and stay good the entire time. Whew. Take a deep breath, everybody. 4.7 seconds left in the game. 28 all. Schukert has the ball teed up at his own 40-yard line.
Heights to kick. Badgers to receive from the north end zone.
Back deep. Josh Brown, as well as Hastings. Brown will get this one his own 15. Looking to switch fields. He's got some space over there. Kusia looking to make the open field tackle. He misses, but able to push him out of bounds. A heck of a return. Takes us to the end of regulation. And we head to overtime, tied at 28. A game that Cuyahoga Heights dominated for the first quarter, going up 14-0 early. Then it was the Luke Stoddard, Miles Miller show to score 28 unanswered heading into the fourth quarter. Berkshire was up at that time 28-14, but two touchdown passes. One from Torgerson to Meadwell, the other one, Torgerson to Collins, has us tied at 28 as the captains meet at midfield. In case you were wondering, last meeting between these two schools came in 2018. Cuyahoga Heights was able to win that one comfortably, 42-26. The last time these two teams went to overtime, the one and only time that Berkshire has beat Cuyahoga Heights in their 11 meetings. Cuyahoga Heights is 10-1 against Berkshire. That one win for Berkshire came in double overtime in 2015, 41-40. That stat courtesy of Jay Cron of the News Herald. So thank you, Jay, for posting the all-time series for a lot of the local Northeast Ohio matchups on Twitter account. I believe you can follow him at Town Center 2. Kevin Arnold here alongside the crew at CVC TV. And it looks like Berkshire looks like they're going to be on offense first. But we are here at Cuyahoga Heights High School for week 1 of high school football. Tied at 28. Both teams will get a possession here in overtime. Of course, in overtime, unlike the professional ranks, this will be more like the college game. So, as I said, each team will get a possession. The ball will be spotted at the 20-yard line. We will play on the side of the field down to our right. Berkshire will have the first chance. Even if they score a touchdown, Cuyahoga Heights will get a chance to match that. So it's not sudden death. And usually when you get to the third overtime, if you do score a touchdown, you are forced to go for 2. Now, of course, in the college ranks, they go from the 25-yard line. Here in high school, they go from the 20-yard line. So it'll be first down and 10 from the Heights 20-yard line. First possession in the first overtime. Miller in the shotgun. He'll hand off to Brown, looking to churn some yards back up through the middle. Pick up a couple, gain of 2 down to the 18. Looks like they only gave him 1 in that play, so second down and 9 at the 19. Miller back to pass, has his man on the far side. Looks like the first catch of the game for Louis Philby. Able to gain 8, a third down and 1. So entire playbook open. Time not a factor, only the play clock, which will be indicated by the back referee that you see standing in the end zone. Final instructions being called out by Coach DeWeese. Miller trying to run for the first down, gets stacked up. Don't know that he got there. I don't think he did. And that'll bring up a 4th down. May have lost a half a yard on that one. Heights feeling that energy on their sideline. Good play to stretch it out. Force them back up towards the numbers. And it remains 4th down and 1, so no gain on the play. Instead of going for the field goal, they're going to go for the first down. And Brown looks like he's able to push the pile just enough over the 10-yard line to the 9. And it'll be 1st and goal Badgers on this first possession of overtime. Tied at 28. Quick substitutions for Heights. Meadwell comes in for Connors. Miller with Brown on his left hip. He'll try to run, and it goes into the end zone. It looked like Heights had set the edge, and a quick little jump cut that has been so tough to defend all night long from Miller leads to pay dirt and 6 points. 34-28 in the first half of the first overtime. Again, no matter what happened on that possession, Cuyahoga Heights was still going to get an opportunity with their offense. Vargas in for the extra point. And a little sidewinding kick, but sidewinds through the uprights. So 35-28 on the 9-yard touchdown run from sophomore quarterback Miles Miller. And any of the Badger fans that are tuning in to CVC TV tonight, if you weren't able to make the trek out here to Cuyahoga Heights, you may not have known who Miles Miller was, or knew that he's a young quarterback, needed some time to grow that confidence. It's taken him less than a game to grow that confidence. And that is going to be a player to be reckoned with for Berkshire for the next 3 seasons. But Heights still gets a chance to answer, and Torgerson has been on fire, their quarterback, through the air. So kind of a reversal of roles. Badgers able to score on their rushing attack. Heights been able to come back with their passing attack. Handoff up the middle to Cusia for a few yards. Down to the 17-yard line. 2nd and 7. We are here at Cuyahoga Heights High School in the first overtime. On the first possession, Berkshire able to score. 9-yard run by Miles Miller. Cuyahoga Heights getting their opportunity to answer. Torgerson under center for this play. He'll give it to Kadrewski. No, he will take the handoff himself, trying to get a few extra yards there. He'll come up just shy of a first down, a couple yards shy.
Brings up 3rd down and 3 to go for Cuyahoga.
Ball spotted just past the 13-yard line. So again, a long 3rd and 2 to pick up to try to keep this game going. Berkshire scored a touchdown, so this is 4-down territory for Cuyahoga Heights. Staying with Torgerson under center, Kadrewski right behind him. And he breaks free. Looks like he has just enough for the first down. Crosses the 10-yard line. Gets 3 yards. And now Cuyahoga Heights will have their own 1st and goal play from the 9-yard line. And Heights, now that getting into overtime, they're getting back to their identity. Power football up the middle. Torgerson faking the handoff to Kadrewski and taking it himself, or Kadrewski taking it up the middle. And they will fake the handoff to Kadrewski. Meadwell goes in from 9 yards away. Kadrewski was fake the handoff going to the left. Meadwell came left to right, found a seam up the middle. And depending on this extra point, Cuyahoga Heights trailing by 1, 35-34, trying to take this to a 2nd overtime. Now we're just going punch for punch in this one. That speed from Meadwell has been so tough to contain, and we will head to a 2nd overtime. We already mentioned it. 6 years ago, these two teams met in a double overtime affair. Berkshire was able to win that one 41-40. We'll see how this one ends up, but couldn't write a better script for week 1 in the CVC. So the teams will head over to their benches before we head out for a 2nd overtime. As both bands try to get their fans involved. I mean, people are literally on the edge of their seats here in the stadium. I'm sure everyone at home is. So we will stay on the same side of the field, but now usually, since Berkshire had the first attempt in the first overtime, you usually flip sides and flip who was going first. Right now, the way that they're set up, it would appear that Berkshire would be going on offense, but again, have to take some time to get this one sorted out between the referees. So the referees will come over now to talk to the Cuyahoga Heights coaching staff as they try to get these things sorted out. So ball spotted, same 20-yard line we started the other overtime with. And now they'll send both teams back to their sidelines to get some more instruction from their coaches. Second overtime, each team gets a timeout. Live here in Cuyahoga Heights, Ohio, at Cuyahoga Heights High School. Cuyahoga Heights and Berkshire tied at 35 after 4 quarters and 1 overtime of play. Thank you everyone who has been tuning in all night long or periodically tonight on CVC TV, whether through our website, ChagrinValleyConference.com, or Chagrin Valley Conference's YouTube page. Of course, if you are interested in sponsoring CVC TV this season, head out to that website I just mentioned, ChagrinValleyConference.com, for all the details on how you can get involved and support these great student athletes, the coaches, and these high school programs. Still waiting on what we're trying to get sorted out here. A little bit of a extra deep breath for both teams. Of course, thank you to our other sponsors this evening. Our title sponsor, Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery, who is bringing you this broadcast here tonight, and FRST, First Response for Sports Trauma Course, and, of course, Physicians Ambulance. So players start to come out to the field. So it looks like Berkshire will have to go on offense first again. So first down and 10, tied at 35. Miles Miller at the helm for Berkshire. And now a flag thrown. Looks like a false start may have been on the receiver here on the near side, unless this referee saw some movement along that offensive line. But that'll back him up 5 yards. First and 15 to start this second overtime. Miles Miller will keep it himself, and only able to gain a yard or two down to the 23, bring up a second down and 13. So second down, 13 for Berkshire. Brown flanking Miller. He'll loft it in the air, and in and out of the hands of Lucas Stoddard. Good coverage there by Seth Cusia, coming over to dislodge the football from Stoddard. And that was a crucial defensive play. Cusia coming over from his safety position. The junior 5'9", 140-pound safety, running back, guess backup quarterback, threw a touchdown pass tonight. Miller on 3rd down and 13, wide, out of bounds. Away from his target on that play. Targeting Mason Mendelera. They've had a solid connection tonight, but way too far out of bounds, and Berkshire will take their lone timeout of this overtime. David Collins, who's made a couple big plays down the field as a receiver, had tight coverage, forcing Miller to try to fit that into a tight window on the sideline, and just not able to do so. So 4th down and 13, first possession of overtime. If Berkshire does not go for this or does not attempt a field goal to try to take the lead, Heights will still get an opportunity. Heights, of course, looking for the stop, keeping this game at 35-35. So out they come out of their timeout. Miles Miller in the shotgun. Josh Brown, as he has been all night, on his hip. Miller rolling out to his right, into the turf, incomplete. Loss of downs. The ball will be turned over to Cuyahoga Heights. And now it does become sudden death for Cuyahoga Heights. If they were to score, they would win this ball game. High fives all around as players come to the sideline from that defensive stand. And Miller, who had been so clutch and on fire this second half, finding a lot more difficult and a lot more traffic to traverse to find open receivers. You got to give him a lot of credit, though. He has been able to use those legs to keep the play alive and has been making crucial plays on defense as well. So I'm sure he'll be back out there at his safety spot trying to make a play on the ball. Be interesting to see how Heights approaches this scenario. How confident are they in their kicker, Owen Schukert, who's been perfect all night long in extra points. How much do they have trust in him? Torgerson will take that handoff. Looked like he was going to be stopped short, and was able to bounce off a tackler and get inside the 15. Down to the 12-yard. They'll mark that at the 13-yard line. 2nd down and 3. So far, Heights going with their traditional rushing attack. Just going to try to either pound the ball into the end zone or give Schukert an easier kick to win the game. Kadrewski gets inside the 10, and on 2 plays, they will set themselves up. Similar scenario as the first touchdown, and their overtime possession set at the 9-yard line. 1st and goal, Heights at the Badger 9-yard line. Game tied at 35. Double overtime. Badgers have already had a chance in overtime. Next score wins should Heights reach the end zone. Torgerson will try to carry this one himself and be dragged down from behind. In on that tackle, Hunter Nicholson. Second and goal. 2-yard pickup there. So it'll be second down and goal from the 7-yard line. A lot of this crowd is now standing. Student section is up cheering for their school. Torgerson under center. Kudrewski right behind him. He'll hand off to Kudrewski. No, he will fake it again and go inside the 5-yard line. Another 2-3-yard pickup, just churning out the yards on each down. So third and goal at the 4. You see the confidence that Coach Al Martin has in this team. They found a way to come back and now can get right back in to their rushing attack. Torgerson trying to fight for that goal line, just shy of the goal line, twisting and spinning his way down to the 1-yard line. So 4th and 1, double overtime. If Heights punches this one in, they can win. If not, we go to 3, but they will settle for the field goal. A 17-yard attempt out of the hold of Meadwell. Schuchert up and good as the team rushes the field. Owen Schuchert, just like an extra point. No doubt about it. Schuchert puts the 17-yard field goal through the uprights, and Cuyahoga Heights wins a thriller, 38-35 on opening night of the high school football season. And we'll keep it here for just a moment as you see the team, Heights, celebrating. Now, of course, the sportsmanship moment that they weren't really able to do last year, the handshakes at midfield. And one of those powerful moments that may not mean a lot or seem like it means a lot. But after last season, it sure does. So Cuyahoga Heights gets the opening week win in a cross-division matchup here in the Chagrin Valley Conference. Cuyahoga Heights in the Metro Division, Berkshire in the Valley. I tell you what, though, one team might be 1-0 and the other one is 0-1. But teams that have to face these two squads the rest of the way, put your homework in, your prep work in each week, because you're going to be in for a fight when you play Cuyahoga Heights or Berkshire. To recap, Heights used that home crowd to get off to a hot start. Early in the second quarter, they go up 14-0 as they do their celebratory jumping jacks and chants here right in front of us, just shy of midfield. Then, at about the 11-minute mark to go in the second quarter, Berkshire found their new weapon in Lucas Stoddard, who has transitioned from just offensive line to tight end, running back, wherever they can use him as an offensive weapon in a skill position and still block along the line. He's able to run for 65 yards, cut another touchdown pass for 37 yards. Miles Miller started to get hot, throwing a touchdown, running for a touchdown. And they were up 28-14 heading into the fourth quarter. And then that senior quarterback, Luke Torgerson, put a little pixie dust, a little magic on that football. And they were able to score twice. First, early in the fourth quarter, a 3-yard crossing pattern touchdown to his favorite target of the night, Jason Meadwell. And then a long desperation heave on 4th and 11, trailing by 7 with only 12 seconds left. David Collins high points the football, evades the defender, runs it in ties the ball game up. We go to overtime. Miles Miller runs it in from 9 yards out. Then Meadwell on Cuyahoga Heights' offensive possession runs it in from 9 yards out on 1st and goal. Second overtime. Cuyahoga Heights gets the crucial stop on 4th down. And all they had to do was do what Owen Schuker did. They got Schuker in range, got it down, the ball down to the 1 yard line. Ball ended up being spotted at the 7. 17 yards, no doubt about it. And this Cuyahoga Heights fan base goes home happy, but nothing to hang your heads about if you are Berkshire. I know it's a cliche that coaches will always tell you, but in a game like this, and how you respond from it and what you've already learned in week 1 will go a long way in determining how your season goes. One game will not define you, but it can have an impact on who you want to be this season. Both teams want to be playoff teams. You got to earn it this year. You got to be a top 16 in your region. Both teams have the squads to do it. Now it's just taking it week by week and trying to earn that. So for the crew here with CVC TV and LPV Productions, I'm Kevin Reynolds signing off for the evening. One final time, your final score here in Cuyahoga Heights, Ohio. Heights 38, Berkshire 35. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful evening, and we will tentatively see you next week here on CVC TV at 7 p.m. live in Edgewood in Ashtabula, Ohio. Stay tuned, and good night.